This is a quick presentation to explain why Agile Software Development in OutSystems pays. Let's start with the following model. What you're seeing now is a graph where here you see the value that's extracted out of a particular enterprise software solution, and here is the time where that value is accrued. So it means that if we have a particular solution that's requested by the business, there is an expected target value that the business wants to extract every day from that particular solution. It could be, for example, $1,000 per day. So it means that when we release version 1.0 in a traditional waterfall model, the time that we had here is time where the solution was not accrued. That's fine, that's okay. What's interesting is that as time passes by, the value of that software is going to decrease. That's expected because the difference between this line here and the depreciated value of the software changes because now the business is changing. The software is not keeping pace because every new release takes a long time to be issued. What happens is, in a lot of projects, the second release actually falls short of that value. I mean, the gap was not fully recovered. And what happens in a lot of cases, after 5 to 7 years of a software being deployed in this fashion, it reaches a point where it's no longer acceptable for the business. It has crossed the minimal accepted value for that business. And so that's the time where you need to restart all over again. Now, on the other hand, Agile projects, in their initial release, it might even be an interim release, they deliver less value because the process in Agile is that you're going to release a vertical integrated version of the software that has less features. What we experience in our projects at OutSystems is that this particular depreciation, the depreciation between the second release, is so small that we are able to provide extra value in the second release. And so what happens is, iteratively, we are reaching the point where that the business expected from the particular solution, especially because we are also integrating that feedback from the user. And that feedback reflects exactly what the business wants, what the business, in fact, was expecting from the system, even if in the beginning of the process, the scope of that project was a little bit different than the final step. So what happens is, in this phase here that you're seeing, a lot of our customers experience a very good relation between IT and the business, because IT is getting new features, new feedback to keep up with the changes with the business, and is responding fast enough so that the value is kept. Now, one extra interesting phenomenon happens after these dynamics have been established between business and IT, is that the business starts becoming very aggressive in terms of the value added that now is demanding from IT. And so in a lot of extra releases, new ideas, new optimization processes come up from the business. They are passed to IT, they are quickly delivered, and very quickly a new added value of the application is now being serviced by that particular enterprise solution. So if we consider the total amount of value, which is calculated by the areas, this is the total amount of value provided by a traditional waterfall type of project with an expected lifetime that finishes here. On the other hand, an Agile project built with OutSystems basically has this all extra value that is provided for the business. If you now compute this in terms of the days that each particular value is being delivered for that day, you end up by calculating the total benefit of ownership of that particular application.